Edition of Teaching English is Fun, the podcast for teachers, by teachers, and students as well. Today, I have a fun little thing. This is less educational and more fun, but you can still learn some English from this. Now, this is called Which Path Do You Choose? And this is basically a kind of a psychological quiz. Maybe it can tell you something about yourself. So notice right here, we have two paths. Which one are you going to choose? Now, let me go ahead and begin this exercise right here. Now, which path do you choose? You're going to have to imagine that you are walking to your boyfriend or girlfriend's house. Now, for you guys who are married out there, you can just imagine you're not married anymore. Or imagine before you got married, right? So you're walking to your boyfriend or girlfriend's house, and there are two roads to get there. One is a straight path, which takes you there very quickly, but it's plain and boring. Now, the other one is curvy and full of wonderful sights along the way, but it takes quite a while to get to reach your loved one's house. So which one would you choose? The short one or the long one? Right? So one straight path, but it's very boring, right? There's nothing to see, nothing to do. The other one, lots of wonderful sights. Oh, look, there's a duck on the lake. And then maybe you've got, rabbits chewing carrots and beautiful flowers along the way, all kinds of things. So, which one do you choose? And ask yourself this, if you're out there and want to go through this, what do you think it means? What do you think the meaning is of either the short or the long path? All right, now let's go to the next one. By the way, I will go over the answers afterwards. All right, the next one. On the way, you see two rose bushes. Now, one is full of white roses and one is full of red roses. You decide that you're going to pick 20 roses for your boyfriend or girlfriend. Now, you can pick any combination that you wish, but the total must equal 20. For example, you may choose all white or all red, 10 white, 10 red, half and half, 15 white, 5 red, or any other kind of combination that you want. What color combination do you choose? And what do you think they mean? Remember, the total just has to equal 20. It can be as many as you want. You can have 2 red and 18 white, or vice versa. Vice versa, by the way, means opposite, right? The opposite way. All right, and what do you think they mean? What do you think it means for the white or the red roses? All right, now if you guys are done talking about that, let's move on to the next part. And let's hope this works. There we go. All right. I had some kind of error that was making me have blank pages before, and I had to restart my cast. All right, now, you finally get to your boyfriend or girlfriend's house. You ring the bell, and the maid answers. Oh, you're lucky. They're rich. You can ask the maid to go get your loved one, or you may go get them yourself. Which action do you take? Do you ask the maid, or do you do it yourself, right? So you go there, you can wait there, and the maid will bring your loved one to you, or you can just say, oh, never mind, I'll go look for them myself. So which one would you pick? All right, and moving on to number 4. Let's hope. There we go. Awesome. Now, for some reason, you did not find your boyfriend or girlfriend, so no one is there. Now, you go up to your girlfriend or boyfriend's bedroom. Now, you have 2 choices. You can leave the roses that you got earlier on. You can leave them by the windowsill. And I have actually, there's a picture right there of a window. And you notice down below, the windowsill is the little kind of shelf underneath the window. So you can leave them there or the bed. Where do you choose to leave them, the bed or the window? And what do you think that means? All right. Now, let's go to the next part right here. And let's hope everything is working fine. There we go. By the way, that's a picture of my lovely dog, Bricky. Later, it's time for bed. Sleeping, of course, right? You and your loved one go to sleep in separate rooms, of course. You wake up in the morning and you go to your boyfriend or girlfriend's home to check up on him or her. Now, you enter the room. Is he or she awake or sleeping? So, you go to the room, go to their bedroom. Are they awake or are they asleep? And what do you think that means? All right, and moving on to the next one right here. Now it's time to go back home. Now, I want to point out, because when I do this in class, a lot of students think that they're walking back with their loved one, but you're walking alone, right? Just like when you're going there, you're going alone, and when you're going back home, you're going alone as well. So you can take either road home. Now, the plain, boring path that gets you there fast, or the curvy, sight-filled road that you can just casually take your time with. So which road would you choose, the short one or the long one, to go back home? All right. Now, if you've had time to think about those, let's go on to the next part right here. And this next part is the analysis. Analysis means like what is the meaning of it, right? So, if you're scientists and you analyze something and you try to figure out something, so it's what the meaning is or what the end result is of everything. So now that you've made your choices, now keep them in your mind. I hope you wrote them down, or at least you remember them, because we're going to go over what those all mean. So the first question right there, which road do you choose to take to your loved one's house, right? The roads represent your attitude towards falling in love. Now, if you chose the short one, what that means is that you fall in love quickly and easily. Now, on the other hand, if you chose the long one, it means that you take your time and you do not fall in love easily. So, which one did you choose, short or long? All right, and then number 2, what combination of roses do you choose to give your love? Now, this one right here, the number of red roses, what that means is how much you expect to give in a relationship, right? To give. So the number of white roses means how much you expect in a relationship. Now, so what that means, for example, if a person chose all red with one white, that means that he or she gives 90% in the relationship, but only expects 10% back. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you get. So for example, if you gave half and half, that means you expect for as much as you give, that's how much you receive. So you expect 50-50, right? Give and take, right? So anyway, just a little psychological thing there. And number 3, let's move on to that question right there. Now, remember you had the maid. Did you ask the maid to get your love, or did you do it yourself? Now, this question, what it does is shows your attitude of handling relationship problems. So, for example, if you ask the maid to get your loved one, then you may beat around the bush. And notice down at the bottom right there, beat around the bush means you don't like to come directly to the point. You may hint at something, but you don't normally say it openly, right? So, for example, someone could say, "Stop beating around the bush and tell me what you want," right? It means, just tell me directly, right? Don't try to drop hints or whatever. So anyway, so for that, and that's why, you have a third party. Third party means the maid. So you may ask a third party to intervene. The avoidance of problems runs high. So that means if that's you don't like to have problems, and you normally won't confront your girlfriend or boyfriend if you have a problem with something they did, right? You just try not to have any friction or any fighting. Now, if you went and got your loved one yourself, what that means is that you're pretty direct. So it means if you see a problem, you say it right away, right? So if there is a problem, you confront it and you deal with it. You want to work it out right away. Okay. All right. And now let's go on to the next one right here, number 4. All right. Oh, there's my dog again. This time he's awake. Now, where do you put the roses? Do you put them on the windowsill, or do you put them on the bed? Placement of roses indicates how often you'd like to see your boyfriend or girlfriend. So, for example, if you place the roses on the bed, it means that you need lots of reassurance in the relationship. And if possible, you'd like to see your loved one every day. Now, if you place it by the window, window show. Oh no, it should say windowsill. Sorry about that, right? So if you place it by the windowsill, that means that you don't expect or you don't need to see your loved one that often, right? So it means you can see them every once in a while, but you're secure enough in your relationship that you don't have to see them every day or all the time. All right, and moving on, this is another one right here that's kind of related to that. Number 5, do you find your loved one asleep or awake? Now, finding your boyfriend or girlfriend asleep. If you find them asleep, what that means is that you accept them the way they are. So you don't expect them to change. But if you find them awake, that means you expect him or her to change for you. And this is something that I think there's a saying that like a man marries a woman hoping she never changes, but she does. And a woman marries a man hoping that she can change him, but he never changes, right? So I know I talked about that before and I got it wrong, but this time I think I finally got it right. Anyway, all right, moving on to the next part right here. All right, the last part. Now we're going home. So which road do you choose to go home? Now, if you chose the long and short roads now represent how long you stay in love. So if you chose the short one, that means you fall out of love easily. And if you chose the long one, it means you tend to stay in love for a long time. So, little fun thing right there. So now, just I think if you chose a short one and a short one, that means you fall in love, fall out of love, fall in love, fall out of love very quickly. Anyway, kind of fun. Well, I hope that was fun for everybody, and I hope you got a chance to do a little listening and maybe try to talk or try to think of what your answers might be for those. Now, if you want any other great classes or any other things to learn from, just go to my site right here. That is teachinglishIsFun.com. I don't have the URL up here, but if you just put Teaching English is Fun as one word, no spaces, and then .com, you can go there, and I've got all sorts of things for both teachers and students to take and learn English and also to teach English. So I hope to see you there. Have a great afternoon, and remember, teaching English is fun.